Hello everyone, this is Jim McCormick, and for this week 9 Women video, I'd like to just show you how you can do a update query to allow you to update records in a table. How you need to do that for your application assignment this week. And so action queries are a nice way of being able to go into your tables and to make changes to a number of different records that you've got in a table. So instead of going through manually and finding the records you need to change and different values from what they are to what you want them to be, an action query will do that work for you and save you a lot of effort. So certainly if you got a lot of content or a lot of records to deal with, you don't want to be doing this manually. So an update query is a way to go. I'm going to show you my database I've got. And I've got a little table here with a product table. And so I've got a product ID field, a cost field, location where the product's located at, and shipping charge. So you can see I've got a couple items there that have a $5.99 shipping charge. The other two have an $8.99 shipping charge. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this change to the ones that have a $5.99 shipping charge. So I want to maybe update that to like $6.99. So again, I only have 4 records here. Doing this update manually in this table would be very easy to do. But if you have thousands of records and you get maybe hundreds to change within that table, then the update query is really the way to go to make good use of your time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new query in order to do this. I'm just going to add in that products table. And when you do the update query, typically what you want to do first is go ahead and create a select query and make sure you're getting the records that you want to have affected and the fields that you want affected with your update query, and then actually create the update query and run that query. So I'm just going to put in my product ID field and then my shipping charge. Now probably if I wanted to, I could probably just get away with just putting the shipping charge field. But product ID field, this would maybe allow me to make sure I'm identifying the right products to actually update with the shipping charge. So I've got my 2 fields in there that I want. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a save on this query. I'm going to do this for shipping update. All right. I'm actually using Access 2010 in this little video, but everything should be pretty much the same as you would see in 2007 if you are using 2007. So just let you know ahead of time. But pretty much in the query view, everything is going to be looking the same. So at this point, I'm just going to run this query, and we'll get a look at what we're seeing. So again, right here, I'm just going to be looking at my product ID and my shipping charge field, so coming straight from my table. So I'm going to go back into Design View, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and just put in a criteria. So I'm just going to bring in those records that have the $5.99 shipping charge. So I want to change those $5.99 ones to $6.99. So again, I'm going to save, and then I'm going to run this query again. And now I've got it down just those 2 records I want to really update with that $5.99 charge, make it $6.99. So I've got my criteria set. Now back in Design View, what I'll do now, I'll actually make this the update query. So to do that, I come up here in my query type part of my ribbon. I'll click on this update button. And as I do that, I get a little extra row put in saying update to. And so now I can put in the information of what I wanted to change that field and make it this new value. So in this case, I'm going to make my shipping charge now $6.99 for those records. I better make it a $6.99, not a comma. All right, now I'll do a save. Now, nice thing when you run an update query, you'll get a little message box saying you're about to update so many records, and you won't be able to undo those changes. So you will get prompted before you actually change that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my Run button. And it lets me know you're about to update to 2 rows. And again, you can't undo that. So again, with Access, a lot of operations, you can't undo that with the Undo button like you can in Word or Excel or PowerPoint. So just be aware of that, especially if you've got a big table, lots of records that are being updated. Sometimes a good rule of thumb is if you're maybe unsure if you really want to update, you can make a copy of that table. So you still have the original data there if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK or Yes. And the update's been completed. So I can go ahead and take a look at my products table now. And I will see now that my first 2 records now show a shipping charge of $6.99. So you see once I hit that Yes button to do the update, nothing else really happened in the query. So just behind the scenes, went ahead and updated these fields to $6.99. So you can see this update query is a pretty easy query to really create. Again, initially you want to go ahead and set up your query. Make sure you got the records coming through using whatever criteria you need to, and to make sure that you then are going to pull up the right records to change and the fields that you want to change. You go ahead and make it an update query type. You get that extra row put in. So I'll go back into my design view here. So you get this extra update to row, and then you put in the information, the text, the number, whatever that you want to change those values of those records to, and it goes automatically to that table. So again, action being done, changing a field from one value to another. And again, with a small table like I had, I could do it manually, but if you got a big table, typically which you're going to have in Access, thousands of records, the update query is the way to go. If you got any questions this week, please contact me, and I hope you have a good week 9. Thank you.